What's up, everybody? We're back with another new episode of the Last Wave podcast. We dive into topics like ghosts, UFOs, cryptids, nerd stuff, and conspiracies. As always, thanks for listening. It does mean a lot. Check out the Facebook page if you haven't already. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. Also, we just started a Patreon page. Go to patreon.com. Look me up. It's the same name, same photo for everything. Basically, it's a super cheap way to show your love. It's kind of like a subscription service, and I have it set super cheap. I believe it's $1 or $2 a month. $5 a month gets you more exclusive content. As far as exclusive videos, you get a shout out as producer on the content as well. Check us out again on Facebook, Patreon. Everything's the same name, same photo. A lot of cool stuff, articles and pictures on the Facebook page as well, and a lot more planned. Thanks again. Today we're going to dive into a little bit of a different episode. This is a Patreon exclusive, and we're just going to be kind of having a chat. I've got some friends of mine here. We're just going to be doing some interesting chats about paranormal and just kind of random stuff. It's Friday the 13th. It's a full harvest moon, and it's just kind of an interesting evening. So we're going to be doing a nice little fireside chat for y'all. There's some beers on the table. It's going to be a good time. I've got E. Say hello.
Hello.
And I've got B.
Hello.
And we're going to be using that as pseudonyms, as I usually do, change names and stuff like that, just to make sure nobody gets stalked on social media or any kind of thing of that nature. So again, y'all, it's Friday the 13th, and which is always a good evening. It's also a harvest moon, which E, I believe you said happens again when, 20 something.
24. It's in the 2040s, I believe.
Yeah.
It's a ways off.
Yeah, so that's a really cool night, and you definitely get out a chance. And obviously, this podcast, I don't know when it's going to go up, but hopefully everyone gets a chance to check it out, go outside and have a good time. We just watched Insidious a few minutes ago, so that was a pretty interesting movie. Kind of a jump scary-esque movie, not super, I don't know, paranormal.
Old school.
Yeah, it's very driven to get you into the theaters. Yeah, date night movies. Yeah. And they tackle a lot of stuff. They kind of meld a lot of stuff and then put a movie spin on stuff. But you've got your typical ghosts, your demons, astral projection, which I know is something we chatted a lot about. I know I haven't done any episodes on it so far, but during some shamanistic experiences and things like that, you do get a little bit of that, where if you're seeing a vision, you can definitely see it as floating above something or something along those lines. B, I know you've talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, this is kind of like anything I've ever experienced before. Being pressing on your back, blanket down, being pulled out of your body, and then seeing the ceiling above my face, inches away, just to turn around and see what looks like a lifeless body laying in bed. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Now I know what happens during that situation is, and people who meditate and do it forcefully, they report a vibration, your body feels like it vibrates. Yeah.
I have a question. Can I interject for just a minute? Yeah. Were you under the influence of anything, or did this just naturally happen?
And that's why we do pseudonyms. So feel free.
I feel like I were a little bit forked up. But I were to the point I were relaxed enough to initiate a consciousness of that state. So, regardless, it was still initiated properly. Wow. Just thinking back, it's giving me shivers, really.
Yeah.
So.
See, I know, like I said, in practicing meditation and stuff, there's a couple moments where I've done meditation and for a long period of time, and you'll feel something like an energy, you'll feel like the room's kind of shifting a little bit and spinning, just like an energy. I know there was one point where, and we're just randomly getting into chatting topics, but people talk a lot about spirit animals and that kind of stuff and spirit guides, and I saw a wolf at the edge of my peripheral vision, what I call basically the veil. When that happens, it's kind of shifty, but you can see it, and my whole body tensed up. It felt to me like I was seeing one 10 feet. Yeah, it's like a fight or flight response. And it was super, super profound. It was white. It was a white wolf. I'll never forget it. It was stalking like in and out of like the outer rim of my vision.
Did you feel like
Yeah, no, I felt like if I was in the woods and legit, I don't know, like it was super super sketchy. And yeah, and once it was gone, like I didn't realize it until it was gone. Like my spine and everything just like relaxed, like I melted into the chair. Like that's how tense I was.
So what you think it is an external presence, possibly, or is it just all self-oriented?
Well, I mean, it could have been either one. I mean, honestly, it could have been, the term for spirit guides and spirit animals goes back, thousands and thousands of years in the Native American culture. So it could have been literally anything. It could have been my totem animal. I mean, I've seen all kinds of stuff under meditation that, and that's probably an episode I would need to do like on its own because there's, been numerous times, but that was one where like the energy was so incredibly like palpable that it was a physical response from my body when that happened.
Wow.
So that was definitely astral projection, all that kind of stuff. I feel like it's definitely real. I feel like there's a whole lot of aspects you can go into on that, but there's just a random little tangent we got off onto from watching Insidious, which again is a decent movie, but it's jump scary.
What's your favorite?
Paranormal.
Paranormal Activity?
No.
Yeah.
Visual.
Yeah.
Physical. I don't know.
No, we talked a little off camera about the fourth kind, and it's if you haven't seen it, I definitely suggest seeing it. It's one of the scariest movies that I've ever seen. Like one that'll really reach you. Like I've only seen it once. Yeah, like it could happen to anybody. And the stories behind it, whether the footage on there is doctored or whatever, obviously the ending, if you've seen the ending is doctored. But a lot of the stuff on there is based off real events, the visions of the owls, stuff like that people are seeing, and that's well reported in alien culture, abduction culture. Yeah.
Yeah, that is where it was.
Yeah.
Very active activity.
Yeah, I think it's just
what you would call it.
I wonder why.
Maybe it's just because it's so isolated. There's nothing up there except what a few people and whatever these entities are. Well, I mean, yeah, you get that. You'll see that a lot, and that ventures into the flat earther territory where you go. Because I mean, realistically, if we wanted to sign up and go, we'd have to like charter a boat. We'd have to get permission from certain countries to be able to go into certain areas. I mean,
huge process.
Yeah, it's one of those gray areas where I just can't pack up for a weekend trip with mom and pop and head down. Plus, you've got to have a certain boat, a certain aircraft, certain all that stuff because you can't just charter a ship. Yeah,
it's accurate.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've got the Piri Reis map, which I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. You may have seen it, but you don't like know the name of it. And what it is, it's a map from I think like the 1500s or something, long hundreds of years ago, and it shows before Antarctica was allegedly discovered. It shows the outline of Antarctica on the southern tip of the map, not covered in ice. So it was as if you could see below the ice and see what the actual outline of the continent was on this map from the pirate era. Well, I'm sure it's probably frozen. Well, that's true. I mean, that's true. I ain't took a weekend trip. Yeah. That is definitely further into that topic than I thought we were going to go. It's Antarctica. That's like it's Australia there. Mm-hmm. I mean,
we could go all day with conspiracy theories.
Yeah, conspiracy theories is definitely one of those that we could branch into for sure. Let's see, scary
Pretty
movies.
much.
I know we talked the fourth kind.
Fourth kind, very true.
I don't really know what my favorites. E, do you have like a favorite one?
Ooh. I don't know. I'm a classic type person, so I would have to say probably all-time favorite is probably either the original Halloween or the original Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think those are just going to kind of remain
Just
as
because they're
classics.
classic,
Yeah.
and I don't know. To me, that is the epitome of a horror movie. The slasher killer that comes out, but they didn't get as gross with it as they
Yeah.
do nowadays,
Yeah,
obviously.
they're not
but
folding people in half in beds and all that kind of
yeah, that's
shenanigans.
always nice to say.
Yeah.
One thing that comes to mind right now is Sleepwalkers.
I have that
Yeah,
movie.
That
that's
was a
super
pretty
good.
creepy movie.
That's the cats, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a man. That was definitely
It's
that's
Stephen
next
King.
level.
What do you expect?
Yeah,
you
true.
know, I'm not alone.
The Shining, I thought
Shining's
was pretty
pretty
friggin'
scary.
creepy.
Yeah,
It was
'cause-
just unsettling.
yeah, it's very very good at that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's very unsettling. As far as me, like not nowadays, like I still probably couldn't sit through the whole thing, but the original It,
Mhm.
absolutely.
That's a long movie.
That's a
Yeah.
long- if you could sit through that without taking a test.
Yeah.
What is that, like 3 hours?
Probably. Well, I mean, what's the guy? Mark Curry? Is Tim Curry?
Tim Curry.
Yeah, just as Pennywise. Like the new one is cool. Like I was like, oh man, this movie's great. You know, I mean, the graphics are really cool. You know, the effects are awesome. But the old one is just, and I noticed like going back because you see everything now is CGI, everything we've ever seen. But well, see, that's what I need. And you were talking about like we branched into talking about the Dark Crystal on Netflix. I went back. I've never seen Legend, another one with Tim Curry, where he's the big devil and
It's one
everything.
of my favorite movies
I
ever.
went to watch that the other day,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh man, this is super creepy because everything is real. You got like sweat dripping off like the goblins' noses and
Yeah,
stuff.
there's little to no
Yeah.
CGI in the movie.
And I'm like, this is really unsettling.
The unicorns look freaking real. This is the realest unicorn I've ever seen.
Maybe they are real.
You never know.
Maybe that was the last of the unicorns.
Maybe no.
So many things that I mean, but unless you take the time and effort.
So what's your scary movie? Your pick?
I was not very happy about the Grudge.
Did that bother you?
It was kind of weird back in the day, but you know, as I've grown on that
I'm
movie,
trying to think of which one because
if
when
you
you said
change the music, you do.
It's the
Yeah.
one in China or Japan where they go into the haunted house
Yeah.
and like the woman with the.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm
The
gonna make the
Ring.
noise, and I'm not gonna make it because I'm
No, I was thinking The Ring.
I creep you
I
out.
can't
Yeah,
separate the
I think
two
it
in my mind. I
Yeah,
can't
I think it
separate the two. The Ring got me just because the videotape, and honestly, this is gonna sound super awkward and weird and nerdy, but the first time I watched that movie was with my mom, and it's at home, and she used to like scary movies, not too much into them anymore, but
Yeah.
we were definitely just straight up watching The Ring, and literally after the movie, the phone rang, and we're like, I'm not. It's up to you. I'm not answering it. That is 100% on you. Not happening.
Of course it did.
So yeah, so not gonna happen.
If you don't answer it, you will not die.
Yeah, one movie I really really enjoyed. It was The Ring. That's what I was saying. Yeah, that's because I was saying I can't really. The Grudge and The Ring to me seem so freaking similar. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen it, and it's based off in like an '80s movie, like the first of its kind, The Green Inferno, Eli Roth.
I have not. I've seen what that was almost based off of.
Yeah.
Which was it
The Cannibal Holocaust?
Which
Yeah.
is friggin' awful.
Yeah. See, I've never
Oh my
seen
God.
that, and that.
But Eli Roth is twisted. He
Yeah.
could make that 10 times worse.
Yeah, I was in the theater on a date, the only couple in the theater watching this movie, and I was almost throwing up and clapping at the same time. It was magical watching it, but I've never seen Cannibal Holocaust,
Yeah.
and I know the
It
fact
was
that
bad enough, and that's an
Yeah.
old movie.
because they couldn't figure out how they got like the impaling scene.
Yeah.
Like I remember reading, that's what killed me is they got, I pun intended, they brought the director in to like into jail, and he had to go to court to prove that he didn't actually kill his actors. Like they really brought him in. He had to bring the actors in,
Yeah.
and apparently he paid them because it was literally the first found footage horror film. It was like literally one of the first, if not the first, and he paid them a certain amount of money to go away. for like months after the movie came out because he wanted people to think it was real.
Right.
So they literally dragged his ass to jail.
Some of those scenes in there.
Yeah, he's like I had to call him and bring him back to prove that they were alive.
Wow.
So, but
The
yeah,
Green Inferno. I've wanted to see that actually.
it's pretty good. The to-do list. But it's at the 15-minute mark, which is where we usually cut it. So that was a pretty nice little chat. We might do another one of these. But real quick, appreciate E and B&E, I'm doing it that way because it sounds better, for sitting in. Really fun little chat. Definitely check us out on Patreon, and this should be the only place you can find this video or this podcast. So thanks for watching. As always, appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.